everyone, yes, it is that time. It is I. And did you ever have one of those movies where you said, man, I'm going to watch that film, but yet you keep passing it on the rental shelf, or for you newer kids nowadays, you keep bumping it down in your Netflix queue? Well, this movie was like that for me. We're talking Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, starring, we've got Forest Whitaker in there, Henry Silva, and directed by the guy who directed Broken Flowers with Bill Murray. Now, Ghost of the Samurai tells us the tale of a hitman who works for a low-level mafioso gangster, okay? And all the hits he does is perfect, but that's because he embodies the philosophy of a samurai to a T. Forest Whitaker character plays Ghost Dog, the hitman, who decides to live his life by the way of the samurai. He's got the book that guides him through his life. He follows the philosophy. Plus, the guy is really, really handy with pigeons. This guy's got passenger pigeons that he's got trained that will follow him anywhere. I mean, the guy is just amazing, okay? And Ghost Dog, you just can't help but love him, all right? But when one of the hits that he gets sent on goes awry, he's the one that ends up having a price on his head. And so Ghost Dog has to fight and plot and live his life and try to get through surviving the hit that the mafiosos put out on him, and in the same time still following his samurai philosophy, which does get tested throughout the film. Folks, this is a true independent film. There's some films today that say, oh, we're independent, but, you know, they're shot more like Hollywood style so they can appeal to a larger audience. Ghost Dog is shot like a true independent film. This is not your standard Hollywood formula, okay? You've got quotes in there peppered throughout the film from quotes from the Ghost Dog's book, okay, about the samurai. All right, and you get scenes, a lot of scenes in here. There's not a whole lot of action. Even though he's a hitman, okay, there's not really a whole lot of action scenes in this film. It is more of a character-driven story, and the character is Ghost Dog, and Forest Whitaker is he just nails this character, okay? You will love Ghost Dog, okay? He rocks in so many ways. Forest Whitaker just does a great performance as Ghost Dog. You buy into this character. You believe this hitman actually is following the way of the samurai. What's also interesting, you don't get a huge amount of exposition about the history or the past of Ghost Dog. That stays kind of in the mystery, okay? Which is good. Which really fits the character, okay? You get the reason why he is loyal to this low-level mafioso, but that's about the extent of the story you get. There's bits and pieces and hints that are thrown at you that are meant for you to go, I wonder what made him do that. You know Ghost Dog at least has the respect of all the gangsters in the hood, because both the Crips and the Bloods say hi and respect him. So you know this guy's pretty badass, okay? But you never get that huge background, but that's okay. We don't need that. Hollywood would fill all those blanks in. We don't need those blanks filled in, okay? Ghost Dog also, though, while it has its deep moments, its fantastic dialogue moments, it has some very humorous moments too, whereas there's one of the mafiosos who actually starts rapping Flava Flav. I mean, that scene is hilarious, and the mafiosos themselves are painted a little bit more comical in some respects, and then in other respects, you know, it's interesting how they handle this whole thing. It's more of a transition thing, because you've got Ghost Dog who's following the way of the samurai, and he's a hitman and a gangster, which is a style at the time period that the film is being shot in is kind of fading, but so are the gangsters, the mobsters. So there's a lot of metaphor in there about things ending, old traditions, old ways, you know, not fitting in the new world and such like that. So there's a lot of hidden messages in there. And then you got the mafiosos who watch cartoons, so it makes, you know, there's that comical element, like I said before. But even watch the cartoons, because there's a difference between the cartoons that the daughter of the mafiosos watch and the mafiosos, the cartoons they watch, okay? So you got to kind of watch for that transition as well. There's a little bit of, you know, hints and imagery there as well. And that's what this movie is. It's true independent film. It's a film that presents the story in an unusual way. Not a fast-paced way, but a very interesting way that will keep you wanting to watch it to find out what happens next, which to me makes for a great film. 4 stubs for Ghost Dog, folks. It's not for everyone. If you really don't kind of like the non-traditional film storytelling that independent films really used to tell, then it may not be for you. But for the rest of you, definitely gotta watch this. Whitaker and everybody in it just does a great job. And I'm interested in what movies are on your list that you have yet to see but have been on your list for years. to see. Post them down in the comments. I'll look at them, I'll grab them, and I'll even do reviews of them on the show here. So I'm very interested to see which one of these movies fits on your list of, well, I will watch it, but still haven't yet. And that'll about do it for us here at The Final Cut. Till next time, folks, keep that ticket stub.